Hello again. This is me, Eric, on another rant. This rant is mainly about a friend of mine who's about my age. We're both in our 70s. And something very interesting he mentioned. That 77, that he read, that 77% of the males in this country, United States, are so unfit, mainly overweight and not intelligent enough to be in the service. And I'm on a rant because he was a fat kid and I was a fat kid. Welcome to the craziness that lives inside my head. You may say to me, why are you on such a rant? Well, my friend brought it to my attention, or to the way he sees it. I don't know what he read. I didn't read the same thing he read. But the way he sees it, this country's in a lot of trouble. We ever go to war. Our men aren't fit enough to fight in wars, blah, 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 blah. And I get all that. And I remember years ago, I had mentioned this to, believe it or not, to a cousin of mine. Almost the same thing. The youth today, they are so out of shape and they won't be able to go to war and blah, blah, blah. And my cousin said, I mean, with the nuclear situation, if there's a nuclear war, it wouldn't matter what shape you're in. I agree. But why I went on a rant is the way society is set up. It's one thing when I was coming up, and maybe that was the start of the fatness, the way society was setting itself up. When I was coming up, it is set up against healthy eating. You got McDonald's, you got Burger King. Burger King was my favorite. I love the Whoppers. You got Dairy Queen. You got Starbucks is no help. I'm a Starbucks freak. And it was funny because the owner of Starbucks came up to me. They had some kind of they have this promotion, and he felt that I was the only one that was going to like the promotion, and it had to do with, and he came up to me, he goes, oh, they got this promotion for something about coffee, the ground coffee or something like that. He said, because out of all my customers, there's only you and another customer I have that come in for hot coffee. Most people come in for those mixed drinks, which I found very interesting, which I find very, very frustrating, especially if you're in the drive-in line and all I want is a large dark roast coffee and get the hell out of there. And there's 6 people in front of me and look like I don't know what the hell they're ordering. And then look, when you get there to the window and you see people get 5 drinks, 6 drinks. And I'm like, well, what? And it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the hell are you people doing 7 o'clock? All I want is my coffee and my butter croissant, and let me move on get out the way. I gotta go to work. So the way society is set up is for getting overweight. I mean, most of those drinks has a lot of syrup in it. Most of those drinks are unhealthy, but it's a free society. So if it's a free society, and then you making things what people want to, I don't know what to say to you. I mean, I remember back, I don't know how long ago, he was the mayor of New York, and did he outlaw sugar drinks or anything over 16 ounces or something? I mean, yeah, you can't make people do the right thing. You can try. That's why I don't like when they make these laws, because I always say laws aren't made to protect the people. Laws are made to protect the criminals, because the more and more laws you make, the less, the less freedom we really have. So anyway, this rant is on, I was a fat kid. I loved ice cream. Yes, I ate. I think you both, I think if you listen to my podcast, you heard my story. I mean, when I was in my teens, I was so fat. I was morbidly obese since I was in my teens up until, technically, they still think they say I'm morbidly obese. Because I'm 50 pounds more than what I'm supposed to be, for my height and weight. I'm 50 pounds over that. But so I'm morbidly obese. Okay. But anyway, with society, in my opinion, and now someone said you did lose 200 pounds, which I did, lose 200 and some pounds. What happened? Well, for me, I can only talk about me. What happened with me is when I went to the doctor, and I was, how old? I was 50, I was 48. Oh, no. I was 58. I was 58 years old. Mind you, when I was 18, the doctors told me I would never, ever see 50. You're so fat, you ain't going to see 50. They used to say you're so fat, you're not going to see 30 and 40. But anyway, I was 58 years old. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor wanted to put me on 6 medications. I agreed to 4, but 6 medications. Because everything was skyrocketed. My blood pressure, my cholesterol, everything was skyrocketed. My sugar, everything. So I love this doctor because he said to me, I was 58 years old. And I told him, I'm not taking all that medication. I'm not doing it. And he was the one who says, let's try something. Let's see what happens if you lose weight. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That was a mindset for me. And I did. I hired a professional, excuse my expression, a personal trainer. Yeah, professional personal trainer. And I ate. I didn't go on a diet. I had no sugar, no fat, the usual. And yes, it didn't come off right away. I mean, I started in 2008. By 2012? 2008, I was 380. 2008, I was 380. And by, 2016 or 2017, I was down to 206. So that's how long it took me to lose all that weight. It didn't happen overnight. And it was a struggle. But I'm going to be honest with you. Losing weight, I'm not an expert at losing weight, but I will tell you this. It is a mindset. And I've lost hundreds of pounds in my life back in the 80s. I stopped drinking and drugging in 1984. By 1986, I think I lost 150 pounds because what I did was I went to AA meetings, OA meetings. If I'm going to do the AA thing, I said I might as well do the OA thing. And I lost 100. And plus I was riding a bike, I exercised. And of course, I blew back up like a balloon. But this time was a little different. And being that I have that history behind me at age 58, when I was young and all those up and down, up and down, up and down, the thing is, I didn't deny myself anything. If I wanted ice cream, I can have ice cream. But it didn't mean to have ice cream every day in the week. See, when I was younger, boy, ice cream, I had ice cream every day. If I wanted something sweet, I didn't deny myself. I had it. I just had it in what they call moderation. Now, I've heard that terminology so much in my life when I was growing up. Why do you got to eat so much? Can't you eat in moderation? Can't you have one cookie? First of all, who wants one cookie? Just like who wants one drink? So, at 58, the mindset to do it. Because I got tired of hearing about you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die. And at 58, you know you're not going to live longer anyway. At 58, you're getting close to that, So at 58 was the mindset. And what I'm trying to say is you can't blame people for being fat. You got to give them the mindset to want to be fat. Excuse my expression. I said it wrong. That is a mindset to be fat, believe it or not. You're going to eat. So, but you got to give them the mindset not to eat so much. The mindset to want to be slender or well, not even slender, just the mindset not to eat so much. And if you're going to eat, try to eat healthy stuff. And it doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't happen overnight. And it is frustrating when I see young people always eating at McDonald's and Burger King and all these other places, and I don't think young people know how to cook today? I don't know. I mean, I had someone said to me years ago when I was fat, and this person said, "You're not fat because you eat cookies and cake. You're fat because you eat food." I like food. Fried chicken was my favorite. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and with a lot of gravy. So basically, I got fat off of meat and potatoes. I mean, yes, I could eat ice cream, but meat and potatoes. There's when I was coming, I'd rather have fried chicken and mashed potatoes first, and then maybe ice cream. And yes, I'm gonna. Oh, I didn't put this into my story. Yes, when I got up to 430 pounds, I did have my stomach staple in 1997. But then, like I said, in 2008, 1997, I was 430. I think I got down to 330. But in 2008, I was up to 380 pounds. Even with the stomach stapling, I just, blew up. There is no magic pill. I had a cousin, she says to me, I was at a family function, and she goes, I had 3 or 4 cousins. I come from a big family. And these big cousins are, oh my God, you look so good. How do you do it? So I explained to them the way I'm explaining it to you, how I did it. And they said to me, oh, you didn't take a pill? No, I did not take a pill. In the past, I used to take pills to lose weight, but that didn't help. But I blew back up a balloon. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. And it's the desire to want to do it. I mean, and that should be the conversation today. It shouldn't be pointing fingers. Oh, you can't do this. You can't. We should stop with the can't. You can do anything you want. But if you want to, as they say, live longer and live healthier, these are the things that you can do, and try to give the tools. And I know it's not easy. I mean, I even when I was fat, I knew what the tools were. I knew about the exercise and eating this and eating that, and I didn't have the mindset. Getting that mindset not to eat so much, I don't know what to tell you. But I will tell you this, is when you get to love yourself, now that's a very interesting situation. When you get to love yourself, everything falls in place. And you may say to me, well, I do love myself. That's why I eat a big meal, because I want to keep myself, When you love yourself, and loving yourself takes time. When I stopped drinking and drugging, I began to look at life in a different light. And I got honest with myself, and I realized, well, I don't want to do this anymore, because I've seen people who drink I've had friends who actually died of cirrhosis of the liver from drinking so much. I had guys who died of drug overdose. I had guys who died from being obese. I mean, but when I stopped eating, and like I said, I did the OA thing, and get that alcohol, detox all that out of my system. Then I realized, and the other thing is staying small enough and sober enough to want it and realize this is what you want. And that's the other thing. Because if you don't do it long enough, if you've been fat for 10 years, let's say, if you've been fat for 10 years and you lose all that weight and you've been skinny for maybe a month or so, and then you might say, well, I don't like this. Nothing's changed. And that has happened to me. When I got down, I think when I lost 130 pounds after I got sober, and I was walking around, and I think I was down to a size 40 waist, down to a 5, which was unheard. I was well at that time the biggest waist was a 50. I was down to a 40 waist. You know what happened? I walked around, and I didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. There's a lot of things. The main thing, I didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't have a husband. So what the fuck I'm doing then? I may as well just eat. I didn't give myself a chance. I didn't give myself a chance. And you got to give yourself a chance to enjoy being that little weight or that sobriety. Because if you drank for 10 years, you're not going to know what if, you pretty much got to be sober for 10 years, or how you say slender for 10 years in order to get that out of your system and to realize the longer you're sober, the longer you're slender, the more you're going to want it, the more it's going to happen. Easier, I'm going to be honest with you, because it got easier and easier. When I was 58 years old, and by that time I hadn't had a drink or a drug since 1984, and now we're talking about 2008. So that part of me was done. Not done. I could still drink right now and go crazy, but I haven't had an alcohol. So I knew what I wanted. I wanted my sobriety. It felt good to be sober, and not waking up hungover, or not waking up drugged up from the night before and don't know what the hell I did the night that. I felt good not going through that. But look how long it took. It took a long, long time. So now I'm 58. So when I got the personal trainer to help me, I knew what it kind of felt like to be smaller. But by him helping me and me having the mindset that this time I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for the adventure to see what it feels like to be smaller and sober, clean and dry. That's the mindset. It's not pointing your fingers, and it's not about statistically that these people die, because it's the mindset. Getting there to want to do it, getting a person to want to do it. That's all I have to say. You just heard the craziness that lives inside my head.